Thank you to the Jewish Democratic Council of America. I value the relationship I've had with JDCA from the moment I entered Congress. And I want to thank you all for supporting Tom Suozzi in NY-3. You know, what happens in NY-3 will not stay in NY-3. It's going to have national implications. You know, one of the cruel ironies of the 2022 election cycle is that there was a red wave almost nowhere except New York, where we lost 5 seats. And ground zero for the red wave in New York was Long Island. And so if we manage to win back NY-3, it's going to send a powerful message to the rest of the country. If we can win in Long Island, we can win anywhere competitive in the United States. And the choice between the two parties has never been starker. It's never been clearer. It's never been more consequential. There's only one party in America that supports the right of a woman to control her own body and opposes a national ban on abortion. There's only one party in America that supports equal rights for all Americans, regardless of sexual orientation and gender identity. And there's only one party in America that's committed to defending our democracy. Half of the Republican conference in the House voted to decertify the 2020 election even after a violent assault on the US Capitol. And all of you who are volunteering for Tom are on the front lines of making history. We're only a few seats away from taking back the majority and making Hakeem Jeffries the first African-American speaker in the history of the United States. We are on the verge of blazing a trail that would have been unthinkable for most of our country's history. And there's something symbolically powerful about JDCA supporting Hakeem Jeffries, because the Black Jewish Coalition has long been the bedrock of the Democratic Party. And if Hakeem Jeffries had been speaker, we know we would have passed an aid package for Israel a long time ago. We would have passed legislation replenishing Iron Dome a long time ago. We need a win in NY-3 to save us from the dysfunction and incompetence and extremism of the Republican Party. You know, I became a congressman on January 3rd of 2021, and January 6th was my 3rd day on the job. And I refer to, and for me, the attack on January 6th was not simply an attack on a physical structure, it was an attack on the idea of America as a multiracial, multi-ethnic, LGBTQ inclusive democracy. And so for the first 2 weeks of my term, I was depressed. And then I remember during the inauguration, seeing the image of the first woman, the first African-American, the first Asian American, Kamala Harris, with the first Jewish second gentleman, being sworn in by the first Latina on the United States Supreme Court. And that moment was a representation of the America that all of us are fighting for. It was a reminder that the future of our country does not belong to the politics of hate and fear, the politics of Donald Trump. The future of our country belongs to the politics of hope, the politics of Joe Biden and Hakeem Jeffries. That is the America for which we are fighting. And when we fight, we win. So thank you for supporting us in NY-3, and we're going to take this home.